Hi everyone, my name is Dina and this is my video regarding my cross stitch. There'll be a few life updates on here as I go, but mostly it'll be about my cross stitch journey. So first I would like to just say a huge thank you for a big shout out that I was given on another channel today that I actually got to go and visit for the first time. The channel's name is Currahee Stitcher, Currahee, second word, Stitcher. She's delightful. She is a very organized stitcher, I would say. She was able to give you statistics on how many days she had stitched since her last update, kind of an accountability, I guess. I saw her latest video because she actually commented on my video that I uploaded today. And she let me know that she had, I guess, taken a little inspiration for what I'm doing for March Madness and had made it her own. And she thought I might be interested in hearing what she had done. And she was right. I was very interested. And if you haven't seen her, go over there and give her a look. She does stitching and crocheting. I enjoyed very much getting to learn a little bit about her and found out she is local to me, not too far away, and may be able to come to some stitching meetups. And so I look forward to meeting her and making a new friend. So I just wanted to thank you for that kindness. I really appreciated the nice things you said about me and my stitching. But I just appreciate very much that that you took the time to do that. So today I had a late start to my stitching because I edited my video and put that up first, and then the Stitchy carousel box arrived and I had the pleasure of going through that and picking what I wanted to keep, and then you have to videotape that and put it up right away, which I did. It's the first time I've ever uploaded 2 videos in the same day. Then I could settle down and stitch. So today I looked through my prompts that I'm supposed to be working on before the end of the month, and there was one prompt that jumped out at me, and it was a prompt to stitch on something that represented special friendships. And of course it was in reference to the friendships that could be made at the Nashville Needlework Market, but this special friendship that I'm stitching this piece for is one that's been a very long-term friendship. My friend Cheryl that I'm stitching for, you'll recognize this. I'm stitching this piece. It's actually entitled Friends, and it is by Bob Timberlake, and then it's adapted to cross stitch by Kathy Livingston, but it's based on his artwork. And this isn't the first full coverage piece I ever started, and I struggled trying to get it done in time for this 2019's Christmas or my friend Cheryl's birthday, which is this month. And I knew I wasn't going to make it. Full coverage really takes me a little bit longer. I had to get used to it. I had to develop what style I was going to do. When I started this one, it lent itself to just stitching it like a normal cross stitch. I didn't do diagonal stitching. I didn't do cross country. I'm just stitching it like I would any other pattern. But there's a lot of stitches. So it's taking me a little while. But today I actually put in 571 stitches to meet the prompt for the special friendship in the Facebook group that I was working on. And I worked on her blouse and her little pinafore. So hopefully you'll be able to tell a bit of difference. Everything below her neck is what I stitched today. So I did all of the pink and red in her blouse and all that, except for a little bit of white that was there when I got started. I did the rest of that pinafore today. So very happy with that progress. Quite frankly, I was dreading doing that little dress because it had so many little colors in it. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's like a little floral print. So it's pink roses with a red background, and then these little green leaves that are in there every so often. So I just bit the bullet today, and I just did color completion from all 3 sections. I picked a color and did it in all 3, and then did it until I got them all done. And then I went in with the white and the ecru and another color. There's actually 3 colors right in there, and got those finished. So 571 stitches. And then the next time I pick this up, I'm actually right at the place where I can put the bar across the window. And then I can just keep working my way down, keep it even as I go. So I'll back up and let you see this is where we're at. Still haven't done any back stitching yet. I think what I would like to do is get all of this to the page break here, all the way across before I back stitch, and I would back stitch as much of this, you know, as I could, so that that portion would be absolutely complete. So there's my update for today. Thank you very much. Many of you are already commenting on the video that I uploaded today, sending well wishes for my puppy Coco. So throughout this time that I'm filming for the next few days or a couple of weeks, I will try to give you updates every so often on how she's doing. But thank you for all the well wishes. And I hope that everyone is safe and well and staying home and stitching. I know I am. Well, I will show you the next thing I work on. I haven't decided what that's going to be tomorrow, so I can't give you a preview of it, but I'll come back and share it with you as always. Happy stitching, everyone. Good night. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina, and today is March 31st. Whew, where did the month go? I had a great month. I started out in doing March Madness, and I did 3 of the 5 weeks as I had planned to do, and then the finish bug got a hold of me. And I finished a fairly large project in my 12 days by Jim Shore. And then it was as if the finish bug would not let go of me. So the next piece that I picked up to do for a prompt, I did for, I don't know, 8 prompts or so. I just kept doing it for the prompt. Whatever the prompt was, I used it. If it fit, it fit. If it didn't, I did penalty stitches because I was just getting more stitches in this piece. And as of today, as of a few moments ago, I have another finish, and I'm thrilled. This is Little House Needleworks, and the name of it is Little House Neighborhood. I keep calling it my neighborhood because that's what it represents to me. But Little House Neighborhood, and this, of course, is by Little House Needleworks. And I did mine on Ancient by Picture This Plus, and this is a 28 count, and it is delightful. And here is my finish. So I will tell you a little bit about this piece for me. It is beautiful, and believe it or not, why I picked this one, I don't know, because I don't particularly like stitching houses. Although by stitching all of these, I certainly have got it down to a science now. I know how I like to do it when I have to do it. I found that it was easier for me if I put all the windows, all the trim and windows and everything first. It sort of outlined the house for me, and then I could just fill in mindless stitching while I was talking, stitching with other people, virtually, you know, whatever. But this piece is quite lovely, and there are very different trees. Each row has a very different style of tree. I really enjoyed the trees at the bottom. I thought those were awesome. Anyway, I mentioned to you once before I used the wrong trim color on this house, but I just left it. Doesn't matter, not every house is the same. Um, I like the little bit of whimsy here where it has a big tall flower on one side but not the other. There's another bit of whimsy here too, and I used the alphabet that was provided to put my initials in, and I used the charted date. It was charted 2008, but because I had the 2000 in there, I could do my 2020 without any trouble. But if you'll notice, the lettering and the numbering are different sizes. Although the pattern called for them to be placed exactly where they are, I wish the numbering had been the same height. I didn't notice it until I had already stitched it. So I left it. So that's another bit of whimsy, I guess, about the whole thing. It also bothers me a little tiny bit that there's no period at the end of the sentence. I may go back and put one in just because I might not like that. But I love it. I think it's quite beautiful. And there were a couple of counting errors in the border. I had to make it match up. So there are a couple of leaves that are different around and about. But you know what? It's a vine. And I don't want it to be absolutely perfect. I'm sure it's supposed to be, but it's not. But it looks great to my eyes. So that's okay. So I love it. Love the colors in it. Love the colors of every house. Really do. And I find that this is a beautiful, sentimental piece for me to represent us changing and into retirement, into a new neighborhood. And it doesn't matter to me which house we wind up in Gainesville, whether we stay here or whether we move. Gainesville is our new neighborhood. And so I'm very pleased with this. So I'm very happy to have this done. This is also one of my Stitch 10 and 20. It was another big one. I still have, I believe Christmas Garden is the next big one that would go. But it is one of my 3 that I put in Cheryl McKinney's group for the scavenger hunt. So I know I'll be starting to work on those pretty heavy as I go. But very happy to have this one complete. I'll show it to you one more time. And I think it's precious. I love the 2 ladies up there with their chickens and their squirrels and their basket, and then the little sheep. And I like that because, you know, I've done the little sheep virtues on my Afghan, and I'm planning this year, hopefully, to start the big piece that several of you have stitched that combines another piece in the middle and then all the virtues around it. And I thought, well, how sweet that this has sheep in it as well, and the same kind of style of art, because it could very well wind up all in my bedroom in the same, you know, area, so it would look good together. I just wanted to share that with you. I am tickled to death to have that completed and finished. And so now I have to decide what I'm going to do in the month of April. I have to decide if I'm going to, I have time today to start Hattie, Hedgehog, and I very well may do that just as a nod back to finishing March Madness with at least 4 of those started. I may do that. I may take a break. I've worked some late nights to get this one finished, because when I realized, you know, how many days I had left in the month and that it was going to take every one of them to get it done, I stayed up kind of late, 2 or 3 nights working on the Jim Shore piece, and then I've tried not to stay up late working on this one, but I have worked on it a lot during the day. Much to Coco's dismay, she came in today and just whined at me because I hadn't played with her enough today. So I had to stop. I just had to stop stitching, and we had to have a playtime. And now she's out on a wonderful hike with her dad. She's so excited. So I don't know what my April is going to consist of. I'll have to look at it and come back and share my plans with you. Uh, but I want to look at what I have left in my whips, because for every whip that I finish, that's a new start for Mania. Because I'm going to work on 20 things in Mania, and it's going to be a combination of new starts and whips. So for every whip I finish, that's a new start for Mania. Very excited about that. I also have to decide, am I going to wait, or am I going to go ahead and start on this one? I have 2 thread colors that I am short of. I ordered all the threads for this from one vendor, and they were short 2. They didn't have them. I've ordered them from another online, well, online to me. It's a brick and mortar store, and unfortunately, their threads haven't come in from what they've ordered because of all this COVID-19, and everybody having such a hard time. However, I have enough of the threads. I think I could get started. I'm going to have to look and see if the ones I'm missing would be too much near where I would want to start. But that one I want to do for this time in our life, and I may want to start it. I have had 2 finishes. So anyway, I hope you are staying home, safe and sound. I want to thank everyone who has been making extra videos. I want to thank Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching for her live broadcast, for Christine doing that for 2 weeks, for Caroline. Everybody's kind of doing something a little extra or different in many ways to give us something to watch, which I am grateful for. I'm keeping up with what's going on, but I don't want to dwell on it. I want to stay informed enough to take care of myself and my family, but I don't want it to overwhelm me and cause me to be disappointed or downcast. So thank you all for that. Several of you have taken this opportunity to kind of go through your stash and share some things. Looking at what you have and talking about what you might have in your stash that you could work on during this time. And that is very attractive to me. I may have to do some of that myself, because I've gone through all of my stash. Oh, it's been probably a year or so ago. And I shared it with you just in the way of how I stored it, by seasonal or this or that and the other. But I don't know. I haven't, for my own self, haven't looked through at every little thing that I have and decide, other than when I was prepping for Mania, what do I want to start this year? So we'll see. I'll have to think about that. I will also, for your enjoyment, those of you who like my Coco footage will find some at the end of this video. She went in a stream for the first time all by herself. She and her dad were walking, and she just walked right down to the stream and went right in it. So he got some footage of it for me, and I think it's precious, so I'll put it kind of toward the end. I want to get video of something that they've started doing now that I haven't been able to catch yet, because I don't want her to see me filming it, because I'm afraid it'll distract her. But they do the sweetest thing now when they greet each other or play with each other. Very often Coco will take her little nose and just touch her nose to her daddy's nose like a kiss. And I just love it. I think it's the most precious thing I've ever seen. And I want to capture it if I can. So thanks to all of you who've been asking about her in the comments. She's doing great. The antibiotics have kept her from having any problems. And she still doesn't really want you messing with her tail very much. She's a little shy about that. I don't know if it's still sore. But the 2 puncture wounds have healed over, And she seems to be, doing quite well. We did have to trim the hair off of part of her tail so that we could continue to doctor it because we couldn't find the puncture wounds, and she would lick her tail till she would mat her hair. And we kept trying to distract her from doing that. So it's been a bit of a process, but she is very, very healthy and doing wonderfully well. And I would like to say one other thing. The owner of the dog who bit Coco was shocked when it happened. This was a fairly new adoption for them. They rescued this dog. They knew he had been chained up for about 8 years, but they had never seen any of this kind of behavior. And he got out of the house when they opened the door to do something, so he wasn't on a leash or anything. And they were just very, very regretful, about what happened. They offered to pay our vet bill, and so my husband said, "Well, give me your address, and if that would be great." And so not only did they pay our vet bill, but when she wrote us a note to send us the check for the bill, she included in there a note saying that she certainly hoped Coco was healing beautifully, and that she had ordered her a couple of toys from Chewy.com, and hoped that she would enjoy them while she was recovering, and was just very sweet about it. And so I don't want any of you out there to harbor any ill feelings, or feel like somebody maybe was not being responsible. I think it was just one of those things, it just happened. And it could have been so much worse, and it wasn't. So I'm really grateful for that. Well, I'm going to let you get back to your stitching, and I hope that I'll have something else to share with you very soon in the next day or two. I haven't decided if I'm going to have an April 1st start or not, but if I do, you can pretty much bet this will be it. Oh, well, you guys enjoy your stitching. I'll talk to you soon. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Dina, and today is April the 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. I hope no one made a fool out of you. I don't usually participate in any of those kind of activities because I don't like humor at another person's expense. Just makes me uncomfortable. But I did participate today in a birthday party for my sister Stephanie. Her birthday is coming up, and on the day that is her actual birthday, we are both having appointments for our puppies to do various things. So we celebrated this morning. So happy birthday, Stephanie. And then today I celebrated April 1st by having an April 1st new start, and I was trying to catch up on the thing I missed out on in March Madness because I was pushing everything to finishes. And that was one of my books, Brooke's Books, Advent Animals. This was Hattie Hedgehog. I don't know why I keep wanting to call her Hattie. Hattie Hedgehog. There she is, with her spot of tea. Oh, so cute, so proper. Anyway, I started her this morning and was able to stitch on her throughout the day. And thanks to my husband for taking Coco on a very long walk this afternoon, I was able to finish her. So I want to share her with you now. This is Hattie Hedgehog. I love her face. She has the cutest little face. So precious. I love her little bright blue eyes. Sweet little gift that she's holding, and I think it's hysterical that her teacup is on top of her head. Isn't that funny? Really cute. So she is the 5th in my series, and I think I'm gonna have room for one more of these on this piece of fabric. I'll have to measure it and make sure, but I think I might be able to eke one out right here. We'll see. But that would be cashmere camel, and I should have started him Monday. That's okay, I'm only one behind. And at this point, it really doesn't matter, does it? We're all stitching in place anyway. Well, I just thought that I would share my April 1st to finish with you and see how much footage I have. If it's enough to go ahead and pop it up there, I will try to do that. I've noticed and enjoyed people putting videos up a little more frequently, so I would like to do that for you. I'm also thinking that my husband's going to take a long run tomorrow, and if I can, with the puppy here, I very well may do a little bit of a stash dive and reorganize some things, and if I find some interesting patterns, I'll be happy to share them with you. So I will talk to you soon, and I hope you're enjoying your stitching very much. Happy stitching, everyone. Stay safe.
Come back this way.